So my name is Michael Hill, and thanks for allowing us to present about our SPOR clinical trials course. I'm a neurologist, and I do clinical trials based in Calgary, Alberta. And as part of the SPOR clinical trials platform in Alberta, we've developed a combination person online course for learning about clinical trials. The SPOR program stands for Strategy for Patient-Oriented Research. It was launched by the Canadian Institutes for Health Research, CIHR, several years ago, and the whole purpose of this is really to encourage clinical and translational research involving patients to improve the health outcomes of Canadians. As part of that effort, there are two broad strategies. One is to focus on specific disease areas or disease groupings, and the second is what we are a part of, which is to provide the infrastructure to develop clinical research. And so it's really important for us to incorporate the education component, teach people about what does it actually mean to run a clinical trial, and that's how the SPOR unit in Alberta has launched this effort. So generally, if you were going to be involved in clinical trials, a lot of current learning, if you look in the history of the last 10 years, has been on-the-job learning. There has been courses offered, for example, through SOCRA and others, where people are taught about good clinical practice or GCP guidelines. There are online courses about ethics. And really our understanding was, and our belief was, that a lot of it was kind of piecemeal. So people would come to the job with a little bit of knowledge, they would learn a lot on the job. And what we wanted to do with our course was really design something comprehensive so that people would have a complete education package on all kinds of clinical trials in the Canadian context, in the US context with the FDA, and internationally, so that everybody who was trained in this course would come out understanding how to do all kinds of different trials. So a key part of what people actually get out of this course is they get the comprehensive training that I've been talking about, a global approach, an approach which looks at both industry-sponsored trials where you might be functioning as a site, and also trials where they're academic. So if I launch a trial and I want to run it as an academic initiative, then there are some different kinds of considerations that apply, and so you would understand both of those kinds of things. During the course, for those people who are not, for example, certified, say, or have their certificates, for example, in Canadian ethics, the TCPS2 certificate, or they don't have their full GCP certificate, they will do that as part of the course. So not only do you come out of this course with a certificate from us saying you've completed this comprehensive training, but you will also come out of the course with all of your standard regulatory certificates to go along with it, so you will be ready to go in any clinical trial which you would endeavor to do. One of our key motivations for developing this is to bring to Alberta, and potentially even to Canada, a workforce which is a highly educated workforce. We know that in many clinical trials the competition is global. It's not city to city, university to university, or even province to province. What we're interested in is producing high quality clinical research. To do that, we need a high quality, well-trained, knowledgeable workforce, and we will do well in Canada in part, and to a large part, when we have that well-trained workforce to be able to provide quality.